Feeling gratefulness in the midst of hopelessness. Hi, everyone. My name is Cheryl Williams, and I am an author, COVID-19 survivor, and I'm also a nurse by profession. 2020 so far has been a nightmare, yet we are alive to talk about it. I felt compelled to do this video as we have been faced with so many hardships, difficulties, as 2020 has been so unkind to us, and we all are dealing with so much. But I had to do this video to focus on the positive side of 2020. You might say, positive? 2020 has been the worst year. There's nothing positive about 2020. We can all agree 2020 has been the year of change, the year of learning. God has been so good to me and my family. He has blessed us most of all with life. So today, as I sit before you, a COVID-19 survivor, I'm grateful to be alive. And that, to me, is a major blessing. In 2020, God has been merciful to me. He has brought me hope, freedom, and purpose. What are you most thankful for?
I am most thankful for life, the breath of God in my lungs, for health and strength. That is what I am most thankful for.
So as we all know, 2020 with the coronavirus pandemic and all of the crazy things that happened was an absolute roller coaster of a year. But in spite of all of the crazy things that have happened this year, we've seen there are still a lot of things to be thankful for. For one, because the coronavirus did go through our house, unfortunately. One thing that definitely came out of everything that happened for me and my family this year that I'm thankful for is the opportunity to still be here. I am super wholeheartedly thankful for the opportunity to not only still be here myself, but to be able to wake up in the morning and still see my family alive and well.
Yes, it's been a really crazy year, but I'm just grateful to be alive with everything going on and so many people dying and so many people in crazy situations right now. It's just a blessing to, be here with my family. My family's alive. We're all doing well. So that's the main thing, like seeing all the destruction and chaos going around and, still being here when so many people aren't. That's a huge blessing that I'm thankful for without a doubt.
What will you remember as your biggest blessing of 2020?
My biggest blessing of 2020, God's mercies kept me through it all. His preservation, protection, and provision. I have been blessed to see my daughter graduate law school and become an attorney. His mercies, His faithfulness, His goodness keep running after me.
So, of course, with everything that's happened this year, we can continue to label off issue after issue after issue that's happened in 2020. This year has been an absolute insane roller coaster, like I said before. But there were definitely a lot of incredible blessings that came out of this year for me as well, especially toward the end of the year. With everything that's been going down, I introspect a little bit about how I'm living my life and the things that I'm doing. And I definitely feel like, especially now since I started working and I've gotten such an incredible opportunity because I'm hugely into psychology. So I'm now able to work with special ed students, and it's such an incredible opportunity to make a difference in somebody else's life on a day-to-day basis.
My biggest blessing of 2020 is definitely, surviving that terrible virus. Like I mentioned before, there's so many people that aren't here anymore. There's so many people that were here when this year started that aren't here anymore. And the fact that I had survived, and me and my family, that we all had survived this terrible virus, the fact that I'm still here is definitely the biggest blessing of 2020, without a doubt.
What lessons have you learned this year that empowered you to be the person you are becoming?
So this year emphasized on a lot of lessons or things that I've always believed in my life growing up to this day. I've always believed in being a good person, being kind to those around you, being a light and an example to the people who may be having a bad day, so on and so forth. But this pandemic has brought me to a point where, at the end of the day, we only live once. We only have one life. But in the now, while you're alive, it's important that you utilize this time to the best of your ability, and just make as many memories as possible with your loved ones.
Nothing is permanent. Life is fragile. We need to appreciate and love each other. Tomorrow isn't promised.
Well, I've always been the kind of person to not take life for granted, because there's so many people that I've known over the years, people I've gone to school with, people I've just known in life that aren't here anymore. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy to look around and see that, and knowing that, nobody can escape that. Eventually, one day, none of us are going to be here anymore. So while I'm here, I want to make sure I make the most of every day and never take life for granted, because it's too precious to do that. So being in a situation this year where I could have died, even more so amplified the fact that I need to make sure that I never take life for granted. If it's something I want to do, I'm going to do it, and to anybody else out there, no matter what it is you want to do, never think that, I'll save it for tomorrow, I'll save it for this. Tomorrow isn't promised. Never waste a single opportunity to do the things you love and show love to the people you care about.
Despite all the hardships, 2020 has been a year of learning about myself and others. It has truly been an eye-opener for me. My poem, A Blessing, helps us understand that no matter how tough the road gets, that life is a gift. And the gift of life is truly a blessing. When life dumps its issues on you and situations seem unbearable, meditate on the blessings. When the aches and pains wash away hope like the rain, contemplate on the blessings. When problems seem insurmountable and disappointments deem unconquerable, focus on the blessings. When blinding snow prevails, feeling trapped with no escape, when tyranny reigns and all else fails, never forget that life is still a blessing. Despite so many lives lost, 2020 has been a year of healing. Even though we have been divided on so many issues, I have seen so many come together for a common cause. I have learned a lot, and I'm truly blessed for the many, many blessings bestowed upon me and my family in 2020.